So here we have an Apple Airport Extreme, model number A1521, and it was working fine up until fairly recently. When you would switch it on, initially it would come on, get connection, and it would work fine for a short time and then just die. Now checking out, it seems that it's overheating. So let's pull it apart and give it a clean out. To access it, you go to the base and you can see the base panel is pressed in. So to get that open, what you'll need a spatula type spudger, and put that in close to the power supply, then bring it across ever so slightly and down. Just get it up, see if you can hold that with your finger, and then work your little spatula around and it should come up. Next step is the little screws here. They're held in with a T8. So what we'll do is we'll just undo those. Take them out and put them off to one side, but don't get them mixed up with any other screws that you may be taking out. Now a little trick I found, that if instead of the screws falling inside, what you can do then is you can use a little magnet like so, just clip it onto that and screw away and it'll hold the screw nicely. Next, just get your finger in underneath and lift up the power supply. Just fold it over there to one side, and what we're going then is we're going for the 8-wire connection just in here. So what you can do is you can just grab the lead and then just wiggle it and it comes up. Then with the top panel, you can just get your fingernail in underneath, just prise it and then slide it out. You can see down in here there are screws. Now they're quite deep, so you'll want a little extension bar on your screwdriver that's holding the T8. Before we do that, there's a couple of other little things to do. So these cables coming across here. So what you want again is a little plastic spatula, and they will come outwards from the board. So just get the spatula in behind and push them out. And they're out of the way now. Also, down here you have the little reset plate. So just push that down and it should pop out. And I think we're about ready now to work on those screws. So putting the little T8 down there with the extension, screw away. Now they're a captive screw, so they won't come out. They'll just come loose. Once you believe you have them loose enough, then we're ready to go to the next stage. Looks like they're loose enough. So what we need to do next is we'll press the two together. Now a little bit of jiggling about. That's it. Press them together and hold them. Just try not to get the little light. And you can see in there now it's a bit mucky. So that'll need to be cleaned out as well. As you can see there now, it's actually quite dirty. So that needs to come off. In order to get that off, it looks like we're going to have to take off the power supply panel, because the cable is being fed down and then underneath the edge of it. So that'll be the next step. The power supply panel is held on with 4 T8s and the fan is held on with 3. So let's just undo them. Those undone, just remove the cover and just underneath here it's actually held in place, so just work this out. Little bit of rubber. Maybe I could have done it without taking the cover off, but as soon as I have the cover off, then we can have a look at the power board, and the power board actually looks a bit mucky as well, so we're going to give that a clean. What we do is we'll concentrate on the fan first, because obviously it wasn't able to do its job when the Airport Extreme got very hot. So get the screws out. Now to keep these to one side because they're a different size to the ones that are holding in the power supply. And you have little clips here, so you can, if you want to try, get it up with your finger. That doesn't seem to be cooperating. So what we'll do again is we'll use the little spatula spudger. Now we have it opened up and it is quite a mess in there. Now in order to clean that, you'll probably need a little brush. So we'll just put that off to one side with a little dental brush. Now that appears to be much cleaner than it was, and you can see there the amount of crap that came out of it. Now next, this one here, you can see there's a bit of a mess in here, so we'll just clean that out and we'll just put it back together. Clip it down. And that's ready to go back in now as soon as we have the power board cleaned up. Now, power board. Now, you can take the power supply away and you can see the actual chassis itself is even messy. So what we do is we'll just give that a bit of a clean over. Now I'm just using another dust brush to get to it. A softer brush rather than a hard brush. And straight away there's an improvement. Now let's get a look at the power board. Now obviously the power board was cutting out when it reached a certain temperature and it couldn't handle it. It would shut itself down. It could most likely be a safety feature that was incorporated. But what we do is we'll give it a clean and maybe it'll work. Once it's cleaned up and the fan is working okay, we could be in luck and we may not need to replace the power supply at all. Now if you are replacing the power supply, it's probably a good idea to replace the fan also, because it could be the fan is faulty, which is causing the power board to overheat and shut down. That's about as clean as it's going to get now. It looks okay underneath. I don't see any burns. Now it's time to put it back together. Finally, it's all back together. Checked all the screws, checked all the little connector plugs before I closed it up. Let's just power it up and see if we have power. When you switched it on and nothing happened, it turned out you may have disturbed the main lead from the power board. But we have power there. And the only way to see if it's going to last would be to connect it back up onto my network and give it about 3 to 5 to 7 days. And what I'll do is I'll keep you updated. Well, I hope you found this useful. Give us a thumbs up, comment, like, share, subscribe, and you'll find us on the usual social media platforms.